Thank you.
Senator Welch.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Could you say that again, Mr. Chairman?
You know,
I like that.
I'm amazed at how quickly it went to your head.
You shouldn't be. You know me well.
Well, that's true, but I wanted to keep it on the down low so you could at least maintain the appearance of a reasonable person. But it's good to have you, Mr. Chairman. Judge Crane, in Louisiana, the state of Louisiana judges have to run for election, which I think has some unfortunate consequences. That obviously is not your creation. If you want to be a judge, you got to run. But it meant you had to do what we have to do. You had, I guess, in one of your campaigns, $1.2 million. And I know you'll get legal contributions, and that'll include from the oil and gas industry, which oftentimes, which does have litigation in front of the court. I know that one of the controversial cases that you had to make a decision on involved Chevron and Hess, which the dispute was about drilling and operating oil and gas wells on the plaintiff's property, and that those companies were accused of failing to close or follow state environmental laws for the pits that they created. And there was a lot of environmental damage. I'm not questioning your decision on that, but I just wonder if you could give me your thoughts about the obvious question that people would see who are not involved, that this could create a conflict of interest. I mean, they would say that about us as well, so I'm not singling you out. But where you're a jurist, you're supposed to be, you have the responsibility of making a fair and impartial decision. Yet, in order to get elected under the law of Louisiana, not your law, you have to raise money, and these companies that have litigation before you make contributions to your campaign. Do you think it makes sense to have judges have to run for election and raise money from the people whose decision, whose cases are going to be brought before them?
Senator, first of all, as you've acknowledged, that is the rule. And that we have in Louisiana. We've been electing judges in Louisiana, as far as I know, since its inception. We believe in the electoral process. Is it perfect? No. Could some people suggest that it creates the appearance of partiality to one side or the other? I think that's a fair assessment that it could.
So do you think it may? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I will say that we have tried, or the legislature has tried. We at the Supreme Court, with the rules that we put in place, have tried to inoculate ourselves as much as possible by not, or by being prohibited from soliciting contributions. But you get to access our campaign finance reports.
No, I understand that. It's just a question of whether that makes sense. You'll be in a different situation. But let me ask you, Mr. Duva, I had a nice visit with you. I appreciate that Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. I'm very concerned, to be candid, that the Trump administration seems to be taking the position that we really shouldn't enforce it. And, of course, that's the provision that says our companies can't bribe foreign officials in order to get business. And I noticed that the criminal division has recently declined to prosecute Liberty Mutual Insurance Company after the company itself disclosed that it had paid $1.47 million in bribes to officials at state-owned banks in India in exchange for them referring banks to the company. In my understanding, the Trump initiative is, or position is that, look, everybody does it. That's the way the world works. I disagree with that. It may be that a lot of people do it, and it may be the way a lot of the world works. But I think one of the things we're proud of is that our companies make their case on the basis of quality of product, service, and price. What's your position on vigorous enforcement of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act?
Thank you, Senator Welch, for the question, and thank you for the visit yesterday. I really enjoyed our discussion. I'm aware that there was a stay on FCPA cases based on an executive order in February. There's now a Deputy Attorney General Blanche memo from June of this year, and it set parameters for these cases going forward. I will abide by that. The focus will be on transnational criminal organizations where bribes are involved and also market manipulation scams. And now the criminal division has charged, I believe, 8 or 9 of those cases this year and just successfully concluded a trial under the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act where there were guilty verdicts by the criminal division in that case. And I look forward to abiding by that memo and progressing the good work of the men and women in that section.
I thank you. My time is up, but I spent a lot of time giving a hard time to the chairman. So I just have
can
one
have
more
more
question. Just one more question. The public integrity section has been decimated. People have been sent from where they were working to other locations. It's down from 20, there's only 2 attorneys and 1 paralegal, and that is in contrast to 36 full-time career attorneys and 12 paralegals. I believe that is an incredibly important unit within your division. What are you going to do, and what's your position about how that has been decimated?
Thank you, Senator Welch. Ranking Member Durbin asked me that question right out of the box, and I've answered it a couple other times. I'm happy to answer it here. We're going to evaluate that section. I've tried cases with the public integrity section. I know they've had very good lawyers over the years. I want to evaluate with Deputy Attorney General Blanche how that section is going to exist, how we might have a nationwide approach, because I believe that the criminal division should have a footprint in nationwide public corruption cases. That's something that I did as an AUSA. I investigated and prosecuted public corruption cases at the national, state, and local level, and I look forward to that discussion. And thank you for the question, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Senator Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks to each of you